Hey, Rad World! Welcome back to another episode of reVIEW. Just as a warning, this review is probably going to have some F-bombs. We're going to go R-rated on the review because it's an R-rated movie.
That's how it should be.
Right.
For fuck's sake.
Batman the Killing Joke stars Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, and the gang's all back together here to do one of the darkest stories in Batman that we've ever seen.
Yeah, it was dark as hell. I mean,
It was a great dark, though.
It was pretty dark, but do you feel like it was R-rated dark?
No.
I feel like it could have gotten away with the PG-13.
And
So
you know
do
what?
I.
They skipped the one opportunity they had for an F-bomb.
And they kind of cut it short.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there was a couple of fake fucks.
Oh, yeah. There were definitely a couple of
That
fake
one
fucks
guy was
in there.
like, I am so damn effing pissed.
Yeah. For those of you guys that don't know, the beginning of this movie, or like the first half of the movie, is a Batgirl story. It's not the Killing Joke. They went ahead and took their own liberties.
It felt a little long.
I'm
not gonna lie.
It was a little long because it wasn't what you wanted. You were waiting for the Killing Joke story.
I forgot what we were there to see.
Yeah.
After a while, I was
Right.
like, I get it, all right? Batgirl's hot as shit, and you're just gonna keep showing her ass and her tits for 45 minutes, and at some point the Joker's gonna appear, and I don't know when.
As far as that half, did you guys enjoy it, or was it just?
I
Were
enjoyed
you just
it.
kind of like waiting to get through it? The whole time?
It was kind of nice just because to get a little bit of a backstory on Batgirl.
Right.
But I feel like it didn't need to go that long.
Right.
You know.
I felt like you got to develop her character and kind of see the city from her perspective. Like even Batman during that whole time, you know, it wasn't from his perspective. It was all from her. So it was interesting, but I felt like, you know, when are we gonna get to the Killing Joke? Like that was kind of the whole time what I felt during the whole thing, and which was a bit of a bummer, but I enjoyed it, but I felt like it dragged on for a little long.
Right. Yeah, like I said, it could have been shorter. Like 15 minutes would have been fine.
For how much her character was supposed to be in it, you didn't really need to know like how horny and adolescent she was, like, and rebellious and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You didn't have to know that. You just
Right.
had to know that she opens doors without looking through peepholes.
Exactly.
Because that's a brilliant thing to do when you're a single 20-year-old girl. That's a great idea.
The Killing Joke sequence opens, and that's when I kind of started getting a little giddy in my seat, just to be like, you know, excited to finally see this take place and hear Hamill's voice. And I mean, Hamill and Conroy both are, you know, always great as their characters. I don't know, I didn't really have any problems with the way any of that was done at all. I really enjoyed it. And it's been like a year or so since I've read it. I feel like it stayed true to what the comic was. So I think that you're all going to enjoy it if you enjoyed the comic.
Definitely.
And it does get really dark, but I mean, just as dark as the comic did. I don't know. The whole R rating thing, I was just like, I was expecting the bad guys to be like real bad guys, like at least in the Batgirl stuff, and didn't get any of that really. Either a little.
I think it was just from the headshots.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people getting shot right in the face. Like more than I expected. A lot more from watching, you know, like the animated series, and everyone's just like, pew, 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 pew. And every once in a while on this, it's like, pew, 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 pew. But sometimes it's like.
Have you guys watched any of DC's other animated movies, like any of their direct like comic book adaptation films?
Right.
Like Batman Year One, or Dark Knight Returns?
Absolutely,
really good ones.
I've heard of that.
Okay, so no.
No, I used to watch the animated series all the time though.
Yeah.
And so it was like watching that all over again with like, you know, grittier shit in it. I'd probably give it maybe a 3.5.
Yeah, that's about what I was going for.
I think that's pretty fair. But no, for it being an R-rated film, I was expecting it to be a little bit more rated R than you know, more PG-13.
Then just kind of like just teetering on that line. It never like went full on R.
I felt like I've seen more rated R PG-13 movies than this. You know what I mean? Like and so that was kind of my biggest bummer with the whole thing. But it was a good movie. Don't get me wrong. But
I think just the R allowed it to have just a little bit darker of a tone overall than what you normally get in a PG-13 movie, but not necessarily take any liberties with the R that they could have.
Yeah.
Batman the Killing Joke gets a 3.5 out of 5 stars. What did you guys think of the movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you get a chance to go see it? Are you going to go buy it? I would recommend purchasing it. I mean, if you are a fan of the DC animated movies and
if you like the comic,
and you like the comic, then
definitely get it.
I think it's worth the money. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for watching this episode, and like, subscribe, tune in next time for more reviews.
All that. Do it twice.
Yeah.
Tell your friends to do it too.
Click, 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 click.
And the ending, it wasn't too rushed. It kept you intrigued the whole time.
Dude, this yells America, fuck yeah.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah, change of scenery. We need more light.
Hey.
This is going to be the spoiler section of our review. So if you don't want to know any spoilers, stop watching right now. We're going to spoil something. At least just the biggest controversy within the film, I think.
Spoil you.
Batman and Batgirl fucked.
That happened.
That was weird.
They did that.
That was a weird
I
thing.
don't think it was that weird. It seemed pretty natural.
Did it? Did it seem natural?
There was a lot of tension.
There was tension, but
There
it was
was
like
tension, but it- I
was
don't
like
think it was-
student-teacher tension.
Daddy issues, for sure.
I don't.
Hold on,
I
like a
can't
penis.
think of any time in the comics when they ever had sex. So
They didn't. They added that in there.
I feel like
Well, I
you'd
mean, I know they.
remember
No, I mean, I know they added it in
You'd
as
be
far
like,
as the Killing Joke story. But I'm saying in all of
in all?
comics,
Yeah, they never did that.
I don't know that they ever did.
Not that I know of.
But like, she was always like a student,
Right.
and I feel like they could have built her character up and created that frustration with like a student-teacher conflict.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they do that all the time with Robin, so maybe they were going for something a little different.
Yeah.
And maybe they wanted you to care for her as much as Batman cares for her
Yeah.
for when she gets shot. But it's, I don't know. I guess I can understand why, but I still think there could have been,
It could
I don't
have
know.
been different.
they were like, it's rated R, let's make them have sex, but not show it.
And like even for the sex, like she took off her suit,
Yeah.
Shirt suit.
but he didn't even start to get to his utility belt. Well, so I mean, yeah, if they hadn't said they had sex, I would have thought maybe they just fooled around or something. Do you
happened?
think he's got a condom in that utility belt? Also, he stripped her naked and took pictures.
Uh-huh.
There's no telling what else he did.
Well, they said it in the room.
Did they? Did
Yeah.
they say it?
He said it without saying it.
Joker just doesn't seem like a character who cares about sex at all.
No, I
they
agree,
had that
but
scene specifically where they did say, well, he didn't come to us as soon as he got out this time, and he said maybe he's got another girl, and then you go,
Was that
damn.
was that in the comic?
So yeah, I can feel the whole rape thing might have happened then.
Yeah.
Just from that prostitute scene.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. That happened in the comics too. Like, I mean, it was like they said it without saying it. And
Right.
another thing too is Alan Moore's writing being spoken out loud is like it's like reading poetry. Like it's like poetry sounds better when you read it. Like,
Yeah.
But when it's
Yeah.
spoken aloud, it's like like it sounds awkward and weird.
Yeah, you
But when
could
you read it,
definitely-
it's fine.
Yeah.
But there are so many times when Batman's talking, I'm like, Batman doesn't really talk like that, though.
Right.
Like when the Joker was going on his like monologue stuff, it's like totally fine and fitting. But every time Batman started talking like Alan Moore, I was just like, it's weird to like hear him speak that way. It was fine when I read it, but
Right.
like, hearing him actually speak it was just like you're just talking in riddles, man.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't
gonna
know.
say it sounds like a big poem that you're talking about. So yeah.
Like, I get it. You're deep.
Pretty deep.
Thanks for joining us for the spoiler part.
Spoiled.
If you like this stuff,
You've
like,
been
subscribe.
spoiled.
We'll see you next time.
Next time.
Every time.
Rat Entertainment. Look at that. That was a thing.